and now we are streaming. I have hooked up my internet directly to the source, so our stream should be flowing very, very, very nicely. Welcome to the show, by the way. Um,
Thanks for having me, man.
hey, man, I'm glad you're here. We were having a phone call, and we're like, why aren't we just live streaming instead? And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and set this up. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up because it continued on longer than it's supposed to. So let me move to the host screen. And I'm just gonna bring us in. Hey, for those of you who haven't seen us in a while, this is the Centennial Impact Productions channel where we conduct conversations, we conduct reactions, and then we do interviews. But right now we're just doing chats, and I actually like, instead of calling it interviews because it sounds so avant-garde, I guess, I'm just gonna call it chats now because I like to chat with people. It's not really a serious interview. I want people to break out of their shell, not get into one. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my guest, known as the Blakk Mambo.
Yes, sir. That's 2Ks.
2Ks. Blakk. Mambo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I talked to you earlier about this whole thing of men generally in the media, and I'm gonna narrow it down to black men because we could both identify with that in some way, of them being more spineless than like is even tolerable now because we're taking notice of it, right?
For sure. Yeah. It's that's we talked about a lot of stuff. It kind of got to there, but I think my conclusion about it was like, there's an agenda here that
Mm.
is bigger than what you see in the present day. If you're just looking at it from the surface level standpoint, like, well, I don't think it's wrong for people to be wearing dresses and all that. Yeah, but when you stretch it out over time, you start to see that the people that wear dresses are the black men over and over and over and over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the black men who are the most traumatized before they make it in the industry, right? They're the ones who don't have enough to hold on to not be persuaded by the industry, by what it seems to offer. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And so the agenda is burning the wick from both ends. We're creating these men to be this week, to be the monkeys in the circus, to influence more men to be the monkeys in the circus because we give them money. And so we give them status, but they rarely get respect outside of their own circles. And we see the after effects and we don't like it, but we're not doing enough to change the environment that's creating this, and the environment is really our minds. Well, it starts there. There's a lot of
How
other
do you?
things, bureaucratic, you know what I mean? How would I say? Uh, uh, you know how, like, when you're playing Super Mario and the screen, like, even if you leave the controller, the screen will move you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just keep pushing you. And if you don't jump or something like that, you'll run into an enemy and you'll die, or you'll fall down a cliff. There's all this stuff here that the screen keeps pushing you to.
Right.
And unless you do something to avoid it, you're going to hit it. That's we have a bureaucratic landscape that is that Mario screen.
You said a Mario. Oh, I love the what you just illustrated in my mind, bro. That's hilarious. I'm on Google right now, and I'm just, first of all, from where we just talked about, I'm just gonna put images up, right, of of what I think we're talking about, and I'm not trying to be immature, like, oh, dude, you out of line for this. I'm just doing this just to show an image to men who are still men, like, bro, this is what they're trying to turn your little brothers into. This is what they're gonna try to turn your sons into. This is like, look, it all roads end here. Like that's what it is. So let me can you still
It
see
was
my
like
screen?
I'm not. I wasn't laughing. Yeah, I can still see it. I wasn't laughing because it's like funny. Like I'm laughing because it's funny that like this is acceptable. Like if somebody told me they're gonna turn me into a Barbie doll, right? I'd be like that. That's for so many reasons outside of just like the masculine, like man, I ain't no bitch. You know? But it's like no, I wouldn't want to be plastic either. I also don't think I should have blonde hair if I don't have blonde hair. Like, you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
bunch of reasons why I wouldn't want to be that, and it's just funny that it's like more than acceptable. It's like you're praised.
Right.
If you're like Zaire Wade or some shit, man.
Right, man. And that's one thing I wanted to tap onto, and uh, we're gonna get into that. Let me just bring up the screen. It's not coming up for whatever reason, and I'm not trying to post this whole thing. So let me get this up here. Oh, okay, I have to restart the whole process, but okay. Here's my Google search. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this the one. Okay. So I'm here in this Google search. All I typed in was P Valley. By the way, this is on the Blakk Entertainment channel. By the way, not owned by black people. So this is what, and this is why I laugh at black people when they're like, we got to get our own stuff. Listen, you have your own stuff, but you decide to hitch your trolley to this type of stuff. And I don't feel bad when the things happen to you. So you got two things going on here, right? You got gang culture and you got bussy culture going on. Like, listen, you got the thug and you got this dude working together now. That's the reality they're trying to create for you. This is the reality that they're trying to create for you. Ah.
And look, that's all fine and dandy if you want to do that, but let's be honest. See, they the way that they put this show, because it's entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it's like, listen, ain't no way that any conversation between these two individuals is going to be actually serious.
Correct.
Like, what are you guys doing in your community that is irreplaceable? There's nothing that I doubt anything comes to mind between them that they're like, yo, our city is missing this. My community is missing this. I'm gonna stand in the gap and make this work. Nope, it's I gotta get to a bag. Wait, stripping is popular? Oh, people are whores down here? Cool. Exploit that and make a bag. That's the extent of any of their conversations. And then in real life, okay, outside of the show, in real life, right? I'm not saying that you can't wear wigs and eat dick at night and not like promote the well-being of community. I'm saying you can do that, but name you got to name me which ones do that. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but to my knowledge, I haven't seen one that's really doing something serious to help their community and are serious about that lifestyle.
I'll
I know
agree.
some that are like, you know what? I'm gay, yes, but I'm not about the gay lifestyle. And they're
I
about
beg your
helping their
pardon.
community and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're about helping
I
their
beg your
community.
pardon.
Let's I'm just being honest. I've seen some that are actually gay, but they're not part of the lifestyle.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They're gay in the bedroom. In the working world, they're an employee. They're not a
Word.
gay employee. They're not they're just doing their thing, right?
and and
And
and
I
and,
and
and I've worked with I've recently worked with someone like that, and I thought nothing of it because it didn't come up, it didn't matter, it didn't, you know what I mean? Like it was just like it's a passing thing. Like okay, you know what I mean? Like you keep saying my partner, my partner, my partner, and I'm like, oh, okay, for sure you're gay. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I recently went to the hospital with my wife, and the nurse or whatever referred to my wife as my partner, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, this isn't a gay relationship. That's my wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy how like the connotation of the word has changed. Like they kind of just took it.
Yeah. So that's why
You know what I mean?
that's why I don't do this. Like I'm serious about the titles things when it comes to relationships now, because it's like, no, this is not my partner. This is my wife.
Right.
You call that fellow over there who you're dating your partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My partner.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like I make money with my partners. I
Right.
make babies with my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. So, and again, no shade at the community, but it's again, it's more so like I'm not about the blurring of lines. You know, yeah, okay, a relationship is a relationship, but not all relationships are the same, and not all relationships work the same, and the inner workings of it. Like, you cannot say that a gay relationship is the same as a straight one. It's not.
Well, for sure.
Just
Yeah.
the
Values are different.
mechanics of it, the
All of that.
dynamics of it, um who's the dom, like in I mean, technically in heterosexual relationships you could say, oh, there's some domineering women. Yeah, but those dudes who are being dominated are betas, and they're probably getting cucked out too, because that chick is probably getting dominated by someone who she actually respects to dominate her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's irrefutable parts of our like what attracts us to each other. It's irrefutable, regardless of what the landscape is pushing right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes, women are working harder than ever, they're spending more money than ever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But at the end of the day, they're still getting all of their validation from a man,
Mm.
as it has been since the beginning of history. So it's, they're if you don't provide validation for them, meaning if they're looking at what you do and they don't respect it,
Mhm.
they're not gonna ask for your validation for anything. If they
Mhm.
don't care about that, then they can't fully submit to you. They can't fully love you. And if
Right.
that's if it, so that's why the women who are at the highest levels of business and stuff like that, they see that their pool to choose from is very small,
Right.
very, very, very small, because naturally, biologically, they have you know changed themselves to where I can only submit to this type of person now,
Mhm.
and only so many of this type of people exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Someone whose validation actually matters to me, the man whose validation actually matters to me.
Mhm.
And for a lot of women nowadays, romantically, that person doesn't exist. So
Mm.
they low key fall in love with their boss.
Let me touch on that dynamic real quick. I want to pull up a video that kind of like summarizes that.
Right.
So shout out to this channel, by the way. This is the at the Hood Servative. I've been on a couple panels with this dude on YouTube on SKC's channel, and this dude is hilarious. Along with SKC, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for all your help and support. This is the Hood Servative channel. He does like these great sort of like almost journalistic, like basically essays about these different subjects. But the title of this one is called "Black Women Dating Thugs Is Only a Rumor." Like, anyways, I gotta play a little bit of like what he did for the setup. This is hilarious. Um, let me play some of the clips he did that were just like blew my mind. Let me play this real quick. Okay. Uh oh. There we go.
I heard a bitch has forgotten their worth this morning. Repeat after me. I am more than a mood, I am a lifestyle. I am more than a vibe, I am a frequency. I've ascended so high that meaningless shit and motherfuckers can no longer fuck with me. My visions are so in alignment with my energy that everything that I command comes to me. And I no longer seek validation from the peasantry because they are not even vibrating as high as me. And we so. Fuck it, Your Majesty.
Like, we've entered this time where, like, I mean, artistically that was dope, right? But I'm like, where do these fat chicks get all this confidence from?
Boy, hey, listen, listen. I'm gonna have to admit that I've been part of the problem. I've been a part of the problem because look, and this is not. I'm just being real, right? If I'm going by the Godfather Kevin Samuels, if I'm going by his definition, right? If we're doing the number system, which women hate now, they used to love it, they hate it now because Kevin Samuels put that shit into real perspective, right? If we're going by that rubric,
Mm-hmm.
you know, an 8 and above would be somebody who makes money off of their image or has made money off of their image, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't be considered an 8 unless you've modeled at some point in your life. Well, I modeled at a point in my life. I modeled for one of the most like what's it called? What is the word I'm thinking of?
Prestigious.
Not prestigious, but they're sticklers. They don't just let anybody model for them.
They're highly acclaimed.
No.
No.
Stringent, stingy, something on that. But they're discriminatory. One of the most
Sure.
discriminatory companies to model for. I modeled for them as a black man.
Nice.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, okay.
Like in print. So I'm not ugly, right? I'm objectively not ugly. And I was fucking 3s and 4s at a point.
Oh,
man. And listen, I love all my bitches. I can't I'm just being honest.
Hey,
like,
man, I had hey, you don't even gotta justify. I've had a phase. Man, where I was let's say I was playing in the mud with him a little bit.
Did you think I'm a beta? Did you think I'm a
Dude, these ad libs I got, bro, are hilarious. Can you hear these or not?
Yeah, I can hear it, bro.
Okay.
I can hear. Yeah.
Oh man, the Dr. Umar one is my favorite.
I beg your pardon.
We must stay focused,
I
brothers.
beg your pardon.
Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, I would say, yeah, I've dabbled. After doing that though, I made it a point that I would never mess with anyone who was like visually beneath me, if that makes sense. Like, you need to look good with me in a picture. It can't be like, people can be like, man, they look like a straight 10. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, it helps the dynamic when no one's looking at the other person like, oh, I'm harder than them or they're harder than me. Like if you both feel like, oh man, like not only like I got me a prize, but I almost kind of earned it. Like I'm punching in my weight class type thing.
right. And then you won't have your, like, because listen, I ain't shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I ain't shit. I'll tap you on the shoulder and be like, bro, what are you doing? Bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I ain't shit. I ain't shit.
No, hey, I mean, you ain't shit but a truth teller. Cause I'll do the same thing. But I mean, like, yeah, I had a phase where this is after right after I had started getting sexually active. It was like new to me, but after the first time, I really didn't know when or if it would ever happen again. I felt like, damn, I got lucky that she even let me blah 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 whatever. So I was just kind of like, man, if it ever comes up, I'm taking that opportunity the next time because I'm like, why would anyone want me to get on top of them and flop up and down?
She set you up to be like a crackhead for it, right? You're like,
pretty much, bro,
hey, I'm itching for my next.
I got a piece, bro. I got a piece once, twice, and then she cheated on me, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And so I was, that hits your ego a little bit. I'm like, damn, so that wasn't good enough for her. She had to go to the other boy, and then she left me for a white boy too. I was like, oh shit, yeah. I was hurt, man, and I was like, I didn't think I was ever gonna get it again. But then I started, kind of developing. My muscles started coming out, getting tall and shit, and started getting some attention. But the only people that had the balls to come up to me and say anything, because
Mm.
my confidence was shot, they come up to me and it'd be the fat girls.
Mm.
And so I'm walking around with these whales, and you know what I mean. I'm I'm a hard 8. Like it's that's a set in stone. On a good day I might be a 9, but I'm giving these 3s and 4s all the time of the day, and I'm treating them good. And I got all these bad bitches jealous and stuff, and yeah, they're thinking, well, what she got that I don't? Nothing. I'm just stupid.
Right, and that's the thing in the sexual dynamics thing, and that's something we've learned. I've been participating in these manosphere streets. You brought up Kevin Samuels, which is like women are willing to um let looks kind of like take somewhat of the back seat as to uh you know basically income comes first, or like what you're
Right.
doing in life comes first. um and then that's or leadership, or it has to be some sort of trait where they feel secure, right? If you're like, because that's why some women feel safe being with gang members, because they're like, oh, he's got the money coming in, he's a dope boy, he's getting that fast money, but I still feel taken care of. You know what I mean? But I don't condone that, and I highly don't suggest that. But let me get let me get into this just a little bit. Video. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this video because Hood Conservative goes in a little bit. Some of these funny videos. This is before his monologue. Let's go play another video.
You smart?
Of course.
I can already tell
smart?
this about this funny.
Of course. I go to OSU. Go Bucks.
All right, bet. How much is $50, $20 bills?
You said $50, $20 bills?
Yeah,
How much is it?
yeah.
2, 4. You can't do that because only.
This is your typical college educated black woman too. I'm gonna be honest with you. She went spent all that money on an education and she doesn't even understand. Oh man. Let me continue. I'm gonna let her answer.
Yeah. 2 20s is 40.
Yeah,
And then you would have to have a 10 to make it 50.
like $50, $20 bills.
Oh, 50. To make it what?
Like if you have $50, $20 bills,
Okay.
how much is that?
You can't have a $50, $20 bill.
No, like if you have $50, $20 bills.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Why are you doing math right now? I do not know.
Oh my god.
Bruh, this is what we're dealing with over here.
Gosh, this is sad, man.
This little video right here proves him right though, about look at I'm gonna play this little video, but by the way, if you guys are watching the stream, please do support the show, Hood Conservative show, $ the #1 Hood Conservative. Please do support him in his endeavors and subscribe, dude. He's hilarious. But I'm gonna play this. Like, I don't think this one singular video shows how much like black women just love thugs, but like, there's another community here on online, and hopefully SKC is okay with me speaking about this, but you're a black man, whatever. My channel's not that big yet. There's a community online called SYSBM, which is Save Yourself Black Man, and he's on that shit, and they get into the they have basically an established not just network, but community of like-minded brothers who like are kind of done with, let me get off the screen. They're kind of done with being told that the best you can do is to have a undesirable, nasty black woman, because you just have to be with a black woman because she's black. Like, they're done with that notion. They're like, I will not only date out of my race if I have to, but I will travel across the world to find the woman that I want. And these are not and obviously if you're able to do that, these aren't dudes who are bums who are living in their mom's basement and stuff like that. These are guys with careers who are just like, I want to find my peace somewhere. And if that means that most of American women are strag, daggle type women, then I'm going to travel across seas to go get that. You know what I mean?
And we're definitely, I mean, even the people in that community aren't, I mean, there's obviously an extreme to everything, but even the people in that community aren't jaded enough to feel like there is nothing for me here. No, it's just that the search is getting a little like, you know, your chances of success are dwindling.
Wait,
That's all.
Wait, what do you mean your
You know,
chances of success?
your chances of success of either being that person that you're trying to find, or that you would love to be, or finding that person that you're trying to see, like your chances are dwindling in this country. Not that they're zero.
Right.
I don't think they'll ever be zero anywhere, and
Oh, but
nobody thinks that, but it's just
pickings
like,
are slim. Pickings are
yeah,
slim.
pickings are slim. When you get to that certain level of success in general, your pickings are slim. But as a black man who, let's say a black man who wants to be with a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
you're in today's age, and I know a lot of black women right now are gonna hate to hear the sound of my voice after today, but but there's a lot of commonalities between just human beings in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at how the culture kind of organizes us, you can base commonalities off of that too. Within the black culture, there is a common thread, and even the most straight-laced, church-going woman, black woman, like they really be in the church. When a thug is in their presence, like a thugged out, like G code street dude is in their presence, they lean back into their feminine energy just a little bit more.
Let me play the video avatar of exactly what you're talking about. She's not a church going woman, but let me play that real quick.
All right.
I think I got it playing. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's taking a minute, but he'll start it in a second. Here we go.
Bro, she's hypnotized, bro.
Mm-hmm.
She's hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thug magic.
That's all it takes, bro. That's all it takes. Is a little bit of, let me see. Oh, I guess there's a little bit more after this. I'm gonna play the rest of it.
All I'm saying is, a man in a dress could never
What you said? A man in a dress could never what?
pull that off.
Oh no! Oh no!
A man in a dress,
No.
he didn't. It's, you don't garner enough respect and authority from women to do that.
No.
Maybe they might respect the money you got on or the clothes, but like, I'm talking about that primal, feral, you know, beast to beast type of respect. You don't get that in a dress, my guy.
Okay, and
Sorry.
okay, and real quick, let's walk our audience into what we're talking about with that, because you and I have both established what we mean by that, but our audience doesn't understand that quite yet. We are talking about, so in the media sphere, and I will pull up media figures like let's say Russell Westbrook. See if I could just Google this. Russell Westbrook dress. And here you go. In regular form. Like there's an industry of getting black men who are in masculine roles, like basketball playing. It's like, oh, he's a basketball player. That's a masculine role. But you see niggas like Westbrook, like, look at this nigga right here, man.
I can't, man. I can't, man. Because it's like, for some reason, I'm trying to hang on to some respect for this dude.
And this is a nigga who will come into the stadium and fight you. You know what I mean? If you go too far, he will come and fight you, bro. Like, look at the stuff they're making the nigga wear, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, all this for money? Like, what is this? What is this, bro?
He looked like he's 2 months pregnant. like when you just get pregnant and it's like you're in transition from going to your regular clothes to your fat clothes, like that's what he looked like he wearing right now. Lane Bryant Jr. Lane Bryant liked.
Yeah, like the nigga sashayed to the game. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
This is the most heterosexual picture I've seen thus far. This is the closest thing.
Yeah, and that's all right, but it's just like,
yeah,
you know, there's only a couple places where I would ever wear that.
Right. At the beach, maybe. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna take my shoes off and like walk in the water, and I don't want it to get everything wet. You know what I mean? Just want to get my feet in there.
I would wear that to take some pictures, and that's it. You won't see me out and about wearing that shit. You know what I'm saying? For what?
Look, they got Boosie here. He's like, look at this dude wearing a mask, wearing a dress, wearing these things.
Like, come on, man. Come on.
You out of line.
I mean, listen, I'm not even like it's hard for me to withhold respect from Westbrook because I know how he does his job. I know that says something about him, how he does his job. But also, I mean, this man, he's probably got a lot of trauma, just like my man Kid Cudi.
Exactly.
You know, so that makes me sort of have sympathy because, you know, the people with the most trauma are the most easily manipulated.
Let me say this though. This dude would be the first one to tell you, you jocking, like, hey, you doing this because of Whitey and da da da. But look, not only are you wearing the white man's shirt, you're wearing the white man's dress. You're wearing his social justice blue hair, and like, look at you, bro. Like, this is what it means to be.
Look at everybody else in that room. Look at everybody else in that picture.
Shades on, and you know this nigga right here with let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. This dude ain't saying shit. I ain't saying shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? My boy's wearing the dress. Whatever, fuck it. He's still my boy. You know what I mean? I can't say nothing about that. Can't say nothing about that. He's still my boy at the end of the day. Y'all don't know nothing about cold, man. I'm on cold, bro.
Yeah,
cold.
But you know why they're boys though? The only reason that they're boys, a dollar sign.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing else. Like, you don't take care of his family. He don't take care of you're like, if he was really out here influencing your family like that, and you don't have a gay son, then there's a problem.
Yeah, and check this out.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Check this out though. See, this is the relationship between black men and black women that they want. Notice the smiles, the hugs. He's cheesing, she's cheesing.
And they're both wearing dresses.
And this is the relationship they want with black men to black women is, hey, sis. And you hear people say this all the time, hey, sis. And it's like, nah.
But is both Jordan Sparks' parents black? And she's bright as fuck, and that kind of lends itself to a certain agenda too. You know,
right?
Like when we say black, I don't even really know exactly what we mean if we're talking about a color or a culture. But if we are talking about a color, I'm like, how can all three of these people in this picture be black when they're all three different shades,
Right.
right? So if we're talking about black and what the happy black family looks like in America, it's normally a dark-skinned man and a light-skinned woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the prototypical black family or the black relationship nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she really just has to be passing for black. She don't have to necessarily have black parents or brown skinned parents. You know what I'm saying? She just has to pass. If she looks enough the part with the curly hair and the blah blah blah, because they calling everybody black now, bro. They calling everybody black. Rachel Dolezal got away with being black for how long, and she's white as rice.
Well, here's the thing. I think transracialism is closer to being a real thing than transhumanism. I would accept transracialism before accepting trans. Think about it. What would you rather accept?
No, I mean,
Would you rather accept a
transracial-
real female being like, I'm black and she's not really black? Or would you exactly, you know what I mean?
I'm saying transracialism, it makes more sense because race isn't real, so you can do with it what you please. I get that. Like transhumanism is fucking stupid because your human body, your existence is real, and you can't change that.
Right.
Well, you can kill yourself, but like, you know what I'm saying? While you're alive, it's like, hey, you can't be a dog. You're a human. You can't be um a woman, you're a man. Like,
right.
you can try.
Does this guy look happy to you?
No.
No. What do you see in his eyes? What do you see in Coodie's eyes?
To me, he looked like he looked like I have to do this.
Oh.
Like I woke up this morning with other plans, but this is what was served to me that I had to do. Before I get to go play outside, I got to do my chores.
Right. What do you think about Westbrook here?
Westbrook looked a little bit too in his element. Maybe he was probably he looked too comfortable with it. I think he might have been faking another part of his life, and now he's getting to live the real part of his life.
Oh shit!
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh shit!
Hey, man, listen, Hustle Westbrook. If you hear this, bro, listen. I'll give you the chance to prove me wrong at any point in time. You want to glove up? We can box about it. You want to talk about it? It's cool. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just going off of what I see.
Right.
Uh,
What do you call it? So, what do you call it? Lil Nas X. Apparently, he says he was faking the funk. He's drawing back all the the hay stuff.
mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna call it the hay community for now. We don't have to say the word because we're not trying to get hit by the algorithm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
apparently he's drawn that back, and he's not of that alternative lifestyle as you would have you believe. Like, you know, his different music videos that are well, good Lord, you've seen them.
Yeah.
Listen, I out of like sheer like, okay, I've heard things about this, had to watch at least one or two of them just to be like, okay, what does this dude about? Oh my God. Like, okay, he's satanic for sure. I get it. Yeah. So, and it's funny how they merge the two, right? The satanic part with the gay, it goes hand in hand with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why, like, within like, if you're a Christian or if you're into, you know, theology, listen, you guys are acting out this archetype. You guys could say, oh, we're just trolling, but there are symbolic tropes that go along with what you're doing. There were symbolic tropes that went along with what Travis Scott was doing, and then that's why he literally summoned that energy to somehow get some people hurt, you know what I mean, at that concert. You know, and you channeled that through your art. if you could call it
Yeah.
that. It's really almost it's ritualistic. It's yeah.
Yeah, because there's an artistry to about everything, but then there's also uh like an aspect of it that makes it a tool. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a hammer and you're like, oh, I use that to drive nails into wood. But the guy who designed that thing was was probably saw it in a dream. Was putting his passion onto paper and that was his art.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But it has uh you a way for it to be utilized like a tool, right?
right.
And I think that's the difference between some of these artists. You've got passionate artists who are doing it for the art.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it because this is me. This is the one of one of me. I need to tell my story, blah blah blah. And you got other people that's just like, all right, I gotta get a bag. I'm trying to get paid. I'm trying to get famous. Or, you know, I'm broke. My family's hurting. Who's gonna take care of them? I'll do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Travis Scott has fallen on both sides of that sword, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of those figures that I never thought he wasn't trying, like, because now what I would say for like an artistry, which I see a lot, is there are people who were made to serve the industry. Like, I was born to serve the industry. I was born to buck dance. I was
That's
born to
true.
tap dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you ain't lying. Yeah. Where it's like a bloodline of, a history. Oh, my dad was in the industry, my grandpa was in the industry, it's like, yeah, it's in your blood already, and then you've been trained for it. I'm trying to think who, um, what's her name? Raven Simone,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like her whole family and her, yeah,
Dude, she's
a lot of,
creepy too, man. Like, have you seen her when she was sticking up for like Disney Channel when they were doing their like they were getting caught up for like Groomergate?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't see her sticking up for that, but that's crazy.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. She was just like, oh, let me see if I can find it. Um yeah. Let me go back to that. So,
But I mean, it makes sense that it'd be her to be the one to stick up and stand up for them, because I mean, she's one of their relics now. She's one of their long-standing like representatives, and um, so she's been paid. You don't bite the hand that feeds you, unless they're not feeding you that well. And she's been getting fed well, so
mhm.
she's gonna say whatever they want her to say. She's been bought and
What's
paid
going
for.
on, guys? Got an
Yeah, here it is. Shout out to Conservative again. He's playing this little Raven Simone thing. Here we go. It's creepy, dude. Let's
You've become a bit of an activist at this point in your life. And why was it so important for you and your castmates to do that?
Well, I am a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I figured now would be a good time because I found my life partner. I found the person that makes me feel comfortable and in my skin, and she's down for the cause. We have a lot of diversity on our set as well, and I'm going to say this, and this is my thing. If there's a don't say gay bill, there should be a don't say straight bill, because it's not fair.
Now again, I imagine there would be a lot of parents.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess months ago, Ron DeSantis passed this. It wasn't even called the "Don't Say Gay" bill. It was called the Parental Rights Act in
Mhm.
Florida, which was basically saying that parents have a right to know what type of things are being taught in school, and it's basically like the educational system's version of like transparency. Like
Mhm.
you should be able to know, like you send your kids to school for 8 hours a day, you should know what they're being taught, right?
Yeah.
So, and this was their response to that, was to demonize it and to call it the "Don't Say Gay" bill. That just says it all right there. I'm gonna continue.
That just a little bit.
And there are multiple kinds of humans in this world.
I'm here as a mother of two queer children, actually, one transgender child and one pansexual child.
Let's stop right there. One pansexual child. How would you know a child's sexuality?
That part.
Right there. Right there. And I'm going to get out of there now. I'm going to get out of there now.
Bail out. Hey, truth though. Truth. How would you even gauge that? He's a pansexual. Well, he loves everything. Yeah, everybody's kids love everything.
Right. And this was kind of what we were talking about at the top of the topic, and I wanted to lead it back here because you somewhat got into this when we were talking about Black women, and she kind of talks about we were talking about desirability. We were talking about dealing with 3s and 4s, right? So here's a woman who kind of gets into that.
All I'm saying, Wi-Fi is the Black woman's enemy. You should have to pay for every megabyte you use. That would make you think twice about looking stupid on the internet.
Woke nowadays. The thing is that men, for literally hundreds of years, have gotten away with flat out not liking women. They like fucking women. They like the way that women look. They like how their friends treat them when they are.
Uzo, do you like the way this woman looks?
What
would you rate her?
I would rate her, honestly, I'd rate her like a 4. She's definitely not the worst I've ever seen, but not like status quo based. Like if I'm going off of that standard, she's not in anybody's magazines, I'll say that.
How do you feel when Black women like this say, I hate when white women culturally appropriate our hair, yet she's wearing a blonde wig?
Man, it's the ones that say, I mean, I immediately kind of turn off. I'm like, I don't care what you got to say anymore. You're backwards.
You backwards. Everything you do is backwards. Everything that's about to come from you is backwards.
Yeah, right. And since that's the case, since I understand you to be backwards, I'm going to need you to come here.
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to let it continue.
With a beautiful woman. But do they actually like that beautiful woman? Do they care?
What in the hell does she know about a beautiful woman?
That part.
Are you friends with beautiful women?
Probably not.
Is there like one beautiful woman somewhere deep buried in your bloodline? Can you go back like generations to find the one beautiful woman? Like, what do you really know about a beautiful woman? That question just popped in my mind.
Care about what she thinks? Do they want to hear her perspective on things? Do they value her as a person? So for hundreds of years, men have gotten away with this because they constructed a society that made women entirely dependent on them to live, to make money, to own land, to build credit, to have a car. It was all dependent on them, right? And so women were getting married and fucking them because we fucking had to live. And now that shit is not the case, now that we don't need men for a damn thing, but we can invite one into our lives if we want, if they present themselves to be a nice and caring and empathetic and kind and generous and emotionally healthy person.
All right, I'm going to stop right there because she kind of hit on some stuff. She's just said it right there. She doesn't need us because we're not providing the food for her. We don't need her for survival, which is what you and I hit on before going live, which is people are conditioned for everything to just work. What happens when it doesn't? There's people who are like, don't understand like what happens when the grid goes down. when the electricity stops? Where are you going to get your electricity from? And they're like, oh, from the wall. Right. When that goes out, where you?
And I'm like, this is kind of a little bit of a segue, but like a lot of the old texts and stuff, you know, the reason why they're still relevant, you know, to me at the very least, because these people made a way when there wasn't one.
Right.
I think a lot of people nowadays, you know, we'll give credit to something for being unique when it was just a revamp of something that's already been done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we'll give it credit for being, oh well, it's its own version. These people that were writing the text that helped build our civilization, help build what we call humanity, like we're building it at the time. There was nobody else who was messing with electricity before the first guys started figuring out how it worked. No one was asking that question. They had to figure out how to ask it.
Mm.
That to me is the most, like, being able to figure out what is necessary to prolong life.
Mm.
Like, and not just prolong it, but like prolong it to be not profitable. But you know what I'm saying, to be effective. You have to be effective in making, not just making life easier, but making life effective. Okay. I know how to extract what the earth gives me. I know how to get the most out of this earth that was given to me, and use it to give back, and so I can get more, give back, and get more, give back. But it's like, nah. We're at a point now where it's just taking. All people know how to do is take. I go to the grocery store, get my food, give them money, and I'm out. What have I left at that grocery store other than, you know, paper debt?
Right. Like like the challenge to go get food is no longer kill food, skin food, bring food back, cook food, wash food. Like, you know what I mean? Possibly die while getting food, getting
Right.
water, possibly dying while getting water. You know,
Mm-hmm.
break.
That tells you how important it is.
Right.
But I wouldn't go walk and die, or possibly die, for a taquito.
Right.
You know, nah.
No.
But I mean, there's, well, I mean, that's kind of a trivial example, but you get what I'm saying, like for a TV show or something like that. But you know, that is what's important to a lot of people. It's like, what, you know, will I have time to go watch this movie? And then if I don't, I'll get really, really mad about it. Or if we're not able to go to the movies and watch movies as a couple in a relationship, I don't respect it as much. Even though this person that you're with has the ability to, you know, let's say build shelter or find shelter, or, you know, they've honed the skills that is necessary to hunt, to trap, to this stuff. If it really gets bad and I need someone to fall back on, I need someone to help boost me up, that's the value of a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for real, we've turned it into all this other shit, you know, being emotionally stable, all that other stuff, because we're too comfortable, we're bored, we need stuff to complain about.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah. Let's get back into that video because that was quite hilarious. I gotta go back to that moment. So we were right here. Let's see what she's talking about.
Right to their body. And
not quite. Let's see.
Beautiful women? Is there like one beautiful woman somewhere deep buried in your bloodline?
It's probably one
I mean,
or
can
two,
you go
but
back like generation? I mean, that question just popped in my mind.
care about what she thinks? Do they want to hear her perspective on things? Do they value her as a person? So for hundreds of years, men have gotten away with this because they constructed a society that made women entirely dependent on them to live, to make money, to own land, to build credit, to have a car.
Let me say this real quick. I'm looking at her, and what I see is like, I do not want to work hard for this. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Like, I'm not gonna like wake up early and like not eat breakfast or grab water and like work for like 8 hours to come home to like this. You know what I mean? Call me immature. I'm not doing it. I ain't shit for that, but I would no. Like, I think
But I mean,
go ahead.
it's reasons that, like, you say that, and I think most people would immediately think, oh well, that's just your preference because you don't like her because she's ugly, or you don't like her because she's loud, or you don't like her because she's black, or whatever. No, it's like a lot of this stuff is representative of bigger things. You know what I'm saying? If you got a loud mouth and you're just popping off and da 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 da, especially as a woman, it means that, to me, you're not as self-aware as I would like, and you'd probably put my life more in danger. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. She would put them
Before
people in your life. She looks like she's the type of woman who would put the police in your life. She put them people
shit.
in your life. Yep.
Type shit. But it has nothing to do with just like, it's not necessarily, oh, you look bad or you look like shit. I think it's like the way that you look is representative of like what you are, of what you do, when you hang around and all that stuff. Like, you see, the prettiest people are normally the richest ones, right? Because they tend to find themselves around success a lot, and success is a beautiful thing.
Right. And think about this. Okay, zombie apocalypse breaks out. Is she
Right.
going to be able to keep up with you?
I mean, just based on how she talks, she doesn't sound like she's in the best of shape. I mean, I'm kind of sick right now, so I don't sound like I'm in the best shape either. But
hey, man, I'm trying to get my wife geared up for that type of stuff right now. I'm like, babe, you gotta be able to keep up with me when we run. We gotta be able to.
I'm saying, and that's like the very least I should be able to, not even keep up with me. 'Cause I'm fast. You know what I'm saying? But
same.
I gotta at least be able to carry you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm strong. That's why. See, that's why these fat women look at me. I'm a target for them. It's like, oh, he's strong enough to handle me, and you show right. But I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm tall, I'm strong, but it's still way more, efficient for me to carry you if you're like a $120, not 320.
Yeah.
You slowing both of us down now.
Right. I wouldn't even entertain 350. But let me continue this.
Car, it was all dependent on them, right? And so women were getting married and fucking them because we fucking had to live. And now that shit is not the case, now that we don't need men for a damn thing, but we can invite one into our lives if we want, if they present themselves to be a nice and caring and empathetic and kind and generous and emotionally healthy person.
Right.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? She wants a empathetic and kind, generous, emotionally healthy person. How you feel about that?
I mean, that's all cool. And the thing is, somebody can grow to be that for you if you're worth it. You know what I'm saying? Right. You just want me to be like that out of the box. I'm just kind and empathetic to everyone I meet all the time, right? No, you don't want that. You want me to be kind and empathetic to you, specifically you. But I can't do that unless you're worth it. And women they say the same thing. Well, how do you expect me to be submissive to you when, how do I know if you're worth it or not? Just because I could kill you. Excuse me. I mean, I'm just being honest. There's like this idea that like men are a threat when we say they're a threat, but then they're not a threat when we say they're not a threat. It's like, no, men are always an imminent threat.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Constantly. So, like, that being the case, if you take that into consideration while you're making decisions dealing with a man, it's like, okay, well, I'm probably going to submit to any one of you guys before I fight you, at least until I figure something out about you.
Right.
If I figure out where your weakness is, then I'll fight you. But off top, I'm not just going to go in there I'm gonna beat this nigga up. But
So
but
let
I'm
me let
saying,
yeah.
I don't know.
Let me play.
They're back and forth about it.
Yeah, let me play devil's advocate. What if they say, "Well, Uzo, why wouldn't you just date her? Cause she's black."
I'll ask him, well, what is black? First off,
Yo, mama's black.
okay, well, what is black? Are we talking about a color, a culture, or what? What's black?
I am the culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah, well, we can get if we can get past that question, and then we can get on to my answer. But yeah, talking about, but why don't you date her because she's black? I'm like, I don't know if she's black. She could be white on the inside.
Well, she's
I mean,
definitely trying to be white on the outside too.
what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So, hey,
Oh man,
we can't assume anything anymore now, huh?
no,
And that could be a man.
no.
I'm just kidding.
No. You're right though. No, you're right though. I've seen prettier men imitating being women. I've seen prettier men than this woman right here. That's kind of sad to say, right?
This is scary.
It is scary. Let's go to another one. He has an excellent channel, man. He has an excellent channel.
You know what's so crazy to me, bro? Like you remember when in the 90s there was this huge like change in the culture. It used to be how artistically can you like um display your ideas and stuff. You don't necessarily have to stand hard on anything. You just have to make it look good. And then all of a sudden it's like, nah, your work must reflect your life. You must be the realest of the real. We will reward you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all that did is just make an industry of it. So people are now faking being real really well.
That's a good point.
And it's hard. And then when they tell you, oh, it's just an act, it's like, how can I believe anything you ever do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the whole 50 Cent, when 50 Cent, he just glossed over it. You know what I'm saying? But he went to court, you know, for some child support shit, talking about I went bankrupt. And he's like, because 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson aren't the same person. And I'm just like, 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson are so the same fucking person. Now, like, what do you mean? It's the same person that is both of them. But it's like if you've created a whole nother persona in the same body, boy, you schizophrenic. That's mental. That's a mental illness.
There's a have you shout out to SKC for this one. Have you followed the Daryl Brooks case? Do you know what that is?
Daryl Brooks, who's that?
Daryl Brooks. So, do you remember last year around Christmas time where some random guy ran over a bunch of people at a Christmas parade?
Oh, yeah.
His name was Daryl Brooks. Daryl Brooks ran over all them people. His trial happened like, I want to say 2-3 weeks ago. And not only did he opt out to get a public defender or a lawyer, he decided to defend himself.
Oh God.
In court. And so throughout the whole trial, he's like, you gotta stop referring to me as Daryl Brooks. That's not who I am. He said he's like, I am the defender of Daryl Brooks. And so he was making it like he's not him. He's running so far away from him being who he is.
That shit is crazy, man.
Dude, it was hilarious. And what's sad is, it's in, I forget which state it was in. It's either Wisconsin. I think it was in Wisconsin. Man, those white folks were being so patient with him. Like, they let him get away with a lot of stuff for a long time, right? They were giving him just so much amnesty. And, I mean, if I could just play a little bit of it. Let me see.
Well, he's playing his role.
There's
playing
just
his
so
role.
much. There's just so much footage on there too. Daryl Brooks trial. Oh boy. So this is him when this all first started, but like, hold on, let me see.
Meet 3 people who took control of their money with a Chase Security.
Yeah, okay. Let the commercial play. Let me. Man, this is a long commercial. All right, cool. This is gonna get funny. Let me switch back to the meaty box. All right. Here we go. Oops.
The state has without having that letter. The state has the ability to question you about that or question this witness and to
Look at this nigga rolling his eyes, bro.
It's like, I'm a lawyer. I should not have to deal with this pettiness. like he didn't just do a crime. Like, come on, bro.
Oh, let me continue.
to look at the veracity of what your claims are here. So I may take an early lunch. If that's in your cell, then you can go get it and bring it. But without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How many times I gotta say the same thing on record?
You know, sometimes, sir, I...
Look at that. Bro, most of the case is like this, and this went on for days.
Golly.
Golly, bro.
Bro, he sounds like his response talking about, I already told you that. Why I gotta keep that? He sounds like a 12-year-old girl that is being accused of lying for something that she lied about.
Nigga, he ran over 70 people, injured 70 people, and killed 8.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
And he's in here talking about, all right, man, lock his ass up. What are we even in court for? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, if you could see the look on the bailiff's face behind him, he just keeps this permanent Barney Rubble sort of like straight face the whole time. Oh man, I cringe and I laugh at this stuff. It was hilarious. But I'm gonna play the rest of the clip.
I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it. Everybody seems to hear
In
that
a
just
quiet
fine.
courtroom,
And
yes, we can hear it very
and
clearly.
everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic.
Because
to try to
it's
go
not a tactic,
off
it's
of
facts.
what we're talking
It's
about
facts.
to some other reason.
It's facts. Because I
other
find
thing.
it hard to believe that
I'm gonna
all
let
of
the
a sudden
state.
nobody hears what I say.
I'm gonna let the state
man,
make
stop.
a record of why they
Stop.
believe it's objectionable.
He's telling her to stop. He said stop. Stop.
Oh,
bro.
Because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you
So
believe
I
it's.
didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was
The
somebody
record will
else
reflect you have 2 pictures that you believe were from this witness.
that I know is from him?
No, that you believe.
That I know.
All right, I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be.
Look at the prosecution, man. They've had to hold straight faces the whole trial. They're trying not to laugh the whole trial every day with this fool. I couldn't do it. I'd get kicked out.
Well, I think after like the first day or the first 2 days, maybe it's like, yeah, this is hilarious. Then it's like, this is just a big ass waste of time. Like, why do I even have to be here? Just go ahead and lock this thing up. Like,
You're going to jail, bro, right? It like, and there are goofy pro-black types who came to this trial to support this dude. Can you believe that?
That's crazy. I can believe anything at this point. I could. I don't believe anything, but I can.
But they defended him because he was black. That's the only reason.
Because he's black, I know he ain't do it. Or I know he
No.
had to have a good reason.
That's not even justification. I know he did it, but he black, so I'm gonna stay here and defend him.
Oh my god, no, that's the worst,
bro.
Like that other shit is dumb. You know, it's dumb to be like, well, just off the strength of his blackness, I'm gonna go ahead and no. The strength of the character that's supposed to matter. But I mean, if you just straight up, just like all the people that voted for Obama and shit, you know what I'm saying, that had nothing to do. Oh, black president, I'm voting for him.
Bro,
he black.
All the people of this past midterm who still voted people in who locked them up for 2 years, you voted those people back in?
But
like
he black though.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? If they don't have your best interests at heart, then like fuck the culture. Fuck the culture. You know what I mean? If it's not about uplifting the next person, like really, like I'm not talking about favorable outcomes, because sometimes putting somebody in the right place may mean putting them in the belly of the beast to get the best out of them. But you know, it's like, no, I'm gonna shield you from that because I think I'm doing something good for you because you're black. Like that to no, it's base it off of their character. What do they really need as a black person?
You would think that though, right? And that's that's why in this day and age, you know, I had this pro-black streak in me too at one point, where I had this sort of like nepotism to me, to where I would just, you know, I want to see black people succeed, right? I want to see people like me succeed, but at the same end, now it's gone too far, especially where it's like black women get a huge hand up with the system. Like, black women do not need black men's help. The government got black women. Okay? You know what I mean? The government got black women. Now, black men, you see a black man on the street struggling. I mean, there are so many homeless men who you see out there who are black men who were raised by single moms, who their education was not prioritized. They were brought in this world simply to suffer and to get half everything, not even half everything, maybe a third or a fourth of love to be able to survive in this world. Like, and then you get kicked out at 18 and have to fend for yourself, but you don't even get what this game's about. You weren't even given any type of leg up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that, of like black men in the system, and that's why they try to justify abortion, which is like, no, stupid shouldn't, like, just needs to stop procreating with stupid. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
like, and maybe just have a little bit more discipline with your pussy, you know what I mean? And vice versa. But yeah, man, it's like I'm gonna continue this and wash my palate out with this video.
Be admissible, one, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. Two, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erica Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to
Let
that.
the state make their argument with no interruptions.
That's a lie, though.
3.
The nigga's interrupting. You heard that?
Yeah. That's a lie, Your Honor.
He said, that's a lie.
These photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erica Patterson is a bad mom. I think that that's what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has, he impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada. And for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation...
Now, again, there are pro-black types defending this man. Hearing that.
Shit, we needed them for R. Kelly then. Where they at?
Oh, they were there.
Oh,
They
were there?
most definitely were there. Bro, they were there.
Geez.
They were there.
That's,
They were there.
R. Kelly is a terrible human being, man. Like, I like his music, but let's just be real. That's a terrible human being.
I think, I'll say this. I think the fact that, the dude can't read, and the people around him who propped R. Kelly up, because there's a lot of dynasty type prodigies, like Floyd Mayweather came from a dynasty. He was
Right.
like really academically inclined, but like there's a dynasty of boxers who's like, this is what they do. Like R. Kelly's kind of like that, I believe. I could be wrong. Where all he does is sing, and R. Kelly, like all R. Kelly does is R. Kelly, like,
right.
And there's a bit of like, it comes in with like the sin of like almost having that God complex of
Right.
you feel you're above what everyone else can do, so you do it because you know what I mean. Like R. Kelly, like didn't he like marry Aaliyah when she was like 15 or some shit like that?
Yeah, or they were engaged or some shit.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it just lets you know what the nigga was on, man. Like,
Yeah, and like when I say he's a terrible person, right? I don't mean that like he had terrible intent for other human beings, but as far as being a complete human being, there's a trade-off for everything,
Sure.
And the prodigy types are really good at one thing, and they're normally like measurably worse than everybody else at like a majority of everything else, right? The guy who's played piano since he was 2 is a master at the piano, but like doesn't know how to, I don't know,
socially interact with people, right? Like they're socially awkward. Yeah, there's a lot of that, and you know what? That almost goes with almost anything I've ever interacted with when I've when I've been around any type of prodigy type. I mean, it happens in the jiu-jitsu world. It happens in the music world, like you said, in all forms in the music world, like marching band world. It was like that. Music, like the types of people you meet, they're really weird and socially awkward, but they're, a totally different thing on camera. So, yeah, it's like, wow.
But yeah, you said like he's a dynasty type, so there was a lot that was given up to create that kind of bloodline in the first place.
Right, like
you know what I'm saying. So they're already they're inclined to not be good at certain things and be better at other things.
Right, like Beyonce. Beyonce comes from like the Knowles dynasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And her mom like helped create that like dynasty, and her father probably had something to do with it too. But yeah, it's like a whole thing. It's not just like, oh, these individuals rose up. It's like, no, the family was in on that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like it didn't happen by accident. We were groomed.
No, they were groomed. Yeah, they were groomed and probably fed these individuals by the family.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these Disney kids and shit.
Right.
It's like, take mine. Take mine.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when you see these like, man, you see these parents and stuff crying, like, oh, I didn't know, I just sent him because he was so influential, and man, you knew you gave your daughter up. You just wanted the money and the check.
And now that there's another check connected to it, you're gonna get it this way,
right?
Instead of sending it to your house, we're sending it to court.
Right, or that check wasn't big enough because it didn't sustain the mental damage and all that stuff. It just held you over for that little tiny time where you wanted to get something from R. Kelly at the time, but it didn't hold you over. you know? So, yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep pressing play, or keep it rolling.
That would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom. Mr. Brooks has a direct role.
Also, real quick, what he's talking about is, I think you kind of got the gist of like, his baby mom's is someone. Yeah, he said it. Someone who he had raped, and they, he ended up getting her pregnant, and he had gotten multiple women pregnant. By the way, he's also a rapper, who's put out multiple music videos. And anyways, I'm gonna press continue.
In that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I object to that.
I'm not
because
done.
that's a lie.
Let him
Because at the end
finish.
of the day,
Let him finish,
if we gonna open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much,
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she told me she
disrespectful,
was when we
interrupting.
met. We can ask that question
He is
too. Then
over the
Did you
top,
ask that?
animated
Did you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks.
Have you ever been in an argument with someone like that?
No. I've been in a fight with somebody like that. Yeah.
I've been in, yeah. Oh, okay. Same. And also, can you hear the feminine energy in him? The snapping like a bitch. By the way, this is the bailiff I was talking about with the Barney Rubble face behind him.
No, for real. Why does he look now? That's all I can see now is Barney Rubble.
Yeah, because he has he has no bottom or top lip. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm sorry.
Pancake mouth ass.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dog y'all out. I'm not trying to. It's not all white people. It's just his face in general. He just.
It looks like a King of the Hill character, bro.
Right. And he maintains. Look, he looks like he's ready to lunge at him at any moment. He's like, "Cool, you got your hands behind your back. If you act up, I'm gonna have to put you down. I'm gonna have to put you down."
All right, I'm just doing my job. Hey, I'm just doing my job.
Here he goes. He's snapping up. He's getting excited. Like he's looking like finally, I get to do my takedown. Finally, I get to do my takedown. Yes, yeah.
I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state finish.
No, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess. 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's
zoom in on the eagle.
Since you think you know so much.
He's still going.
Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
Bro. This is funny, man. That stuff is, man. We could have streams literally just dedicated to watching the Daryl Brooks stream. Like, shout out to SKC again, man. He did some streams that he took down. He has one that I think is still up. But it is so funny, man. It's just like, hold on, maybe he has the one up that I'm talking about. Let me see. Cause that one was, oh my god, it was comedy. Cause that's definitely him right there. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna zoom past all this. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. SKC was driving this point home. SKC is probably the funniest content creator. Subscribe to his channel if you get the chance, Uzo. Like I would do it like right now if you could. Like he will make you laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And when he goes live, he goes live. And after the stream is up, he usually takes it down. So you kind of have to get it when you get it. You know, it's one of those things. But I love watching this channel. I'm gonna play this real quick. Just this little part. Please, SKC, please be okay with this. Please.
from great minds within the community. Maybe you need to do a series of a truism. Maybe you could do that with Sage Highwayman. You know, you guys could play off of each other because you know Sage is so calm and directed and such and such. He gets frustrated sometimes when he can't deal with all of it. But a truism is like the complete opposite of it. He just it's like a good cop, bad cop type of thing. And you two could team up and do a show called Minds of the Community. Minds of the Community.
Oops. Pause it.
The community, you hot woman that doesn't speak any English whatsoever, and she has no idea. Only thing that's it. But this will be a feature on Minds of the Community. I would like to see what you guys would have to say about a topic such as this one.
We have. It's certain stuff men can do. Men can do a lot of shit that women just can't not do, and it's a lot of stuff that women can do that men can't do at all.
Can I ask you a question? And I appreciate your honesty, JP. Can I ask you a question?
Literally one thing. There's only one thing. I'm sorry, but there's only one thing that a woman can do that a man can't do at all. We all know what that is.
Have children?
That is it. There's literally nothing else a woman can do that a man can't. I'll wait.
They can do it, but I'll say this. Biologically, they're not inspired to do the things that men can do.
Well, yeah, for sure. I'm saying a man's not inspired to do the things that women nowadays are saying that only women can do. And I'm like, the only thing that a woman can do that a man can't is birth. So what are these other things that because this is a huge comparison between men and women. What are we comparing?
Well, I'll say this. They can't maintain the infrastructure that we have to run society. In numbers, women aren't plumbers. In numbers, women aren't electricians. In numbers, women aren't building the freeways right now and the roads and maintaining the infrastructure that we use and survive on. I'll say that.
Right. And they won't unless it's to prove a point. But I'm saying, like, what we can do as far as not even just physically, but like mentally too, what we can do, they can't. Like the way that women love their children, like we can't love anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even love our own children the way women love children because we don't get pregnant. So having kids is the only thing that women do that we can't. But there are tons of things that we do that women can't, or that women still haven't done to this day. After all the time that existence has been existing, there's still some things that women have never done that men have been doing for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So when that guy is like, oh, there's a lot of things, I'm like, bro, don't play that game. But you're trying to pander to people and this egalitarian speak when you know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it like that. Mm-hmm. Just because the woman's in front of you, you got to soften your words. Just say it like that. Right. She's already on the panel. She knew where she was at. She knew she's talking to a man.
Right.
And she's been talking to you all kinds of ways. Just say that. I don't know. It's a little thing, but it kind of got to me. Like, bro, don't lie to her.
Right. Let me make sure I'm playing the screen right. I am. Okay, cool. Let me press play.
I was kind of when I realized it, when I had to take the love, because when I was really thinking, because nobody in my family explained that to me. Then, but my dad did when I got, before he died. I'm like, that was a motherfucking player.
So you think it's player for your?
My daddy.
Oh, you know what? Here he is right here going to the Daryl Brooks thing. Hold on. Here he goes.
And then he had this conversation about why he went there and all of that. And I'll try to find that clip.
He went to the trial.
The show where he was explaining why he went to the to the case. And let me see if I can find it in my history really quickly. If I can, I'll move on. But he he was explaining to him why it was necessary for him to go. And
But I think
again,
you're looking at it in a small lens.
Oh, I think I found it. And then the logic behind it all. It's amazing stuff. Deep dives into the minds of the community. Again, take this and go forth with it with all of my blessings, A Truism and Sage, with your powers combined. Oh man, if X retires, you guys should acquire from him that opening where he says, "Open your mind, your community mind." I'm telling you, you can go deep dives into the minds of the community. Here is the rationale as to why one would go to the trial of one Daryl Brooks, who was convicted on all 70-something charges.
What's up?
What up? What's going on?
Go ahead, tell your story. I'm listening.
Yeah, so the reason why a lot of people got questions on why Jay Prince defending what this man have done going up there to the trial, right? It's not that I'm defending what he did, because I'm not defending what he did. Now, my perspective of this, I was watching the trial, and I seen how the man was getting treated. I wasn't going to come up to this trial. I was kind of actually scared to come up here. But then how I was seeing how he was getting treated and done, all the lies, all types of stuff, how the judge is related to the victim's father, how the jury going to say it's impartial, and basically lie and say it was impartial, that they didn't know anything about the case, and which in fact everybody know about this case, including the jury, so they lied. So this man not really getting a fair trial.
All right. So Daryl Brooks is not getting a fair trial.
Bro. Oh.
Bruh, and you saw the nigga shit that was happening. Just that little snippet. Oh man. Oh man. I'm gonna continue to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Freeze up. Compassion. Pablo, grace.
Also, that when I think about it, y'all know how I believe, when they kill black men, Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman.
Now, what is wrong? What is wrong with what we just heard?
Do you know what's wrong with what you just heard?
He said when they kill black men.
And he said Rittenhouse and Zimmerman.
Yeah, I mean, we already know. Continue.
Well, no. Do you know? Because I need to know if you know. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse.
I think we're on the same page, but
no, you could say it. Say it.
I mean, just look at the last names of these.
Okay, no. Rittenhouse killed white people. Rittenhouse was doing basically at a Black Lives Matter protest, and he was defending businesses and stuff like that, and even supports Black Lives Matter to some extent. But at the time they were rioting and destroying businesses and stuff like that. But there was 3 white boys who, one of them even had a gun, and he was defending himself, and he shot and killed 3 white dudes, and shot so accurate and so precise that he didn't even hurt anybody else but the people he was shooting. On target. He was on target because there's crowds of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he shot true. Anyways, black people swear up and down in the media that Kyle Rittenhouse killed black people.
Huh. I never really that story just came and went for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't really look too deep into it, but now that you say that, that is kind of weird.
And black people to this day still use that as an excuse to be like white supremacy. They get away with it and but like he didn't even shoot black people. He shot only white people, and the white guys he shot were convicted felons and pedophiles, and like honestly, good riddance to a lot of them. You know what I mean? And one of them was like all about saying the N-word and stuff like that. So it's like, I'm not sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This is why I kind of, I think there's a lot of dumb black folks out there. A lot of dumb black folks. But I'm going to continue.
What was wrong with let's rewind this. Let's rewind this.
Anything about the case, and which in fact everybody know about this case, including the jury, so they lie. So this man not really getting a fair trial. Also, that when I think about it, y'all know how I believe. When they kill black men, Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman. You know how I believe. When they kill black men, Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman. How I believe. When they kill black men, Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman. How I believe. When they kill black men, Rittenhouse, George Zimmerman.
Yes, truth only. Yes, truth only. And this is what I'm saying is the community. You don't, it's like rationale, reasoning, any other stuff. Just nothing. It just, oh my
God. Derek Chauvin, everybody that killed us, killed black people, they still have people to support them. They gonna support.
Rittenhouse went black.
Yeah, he went black, but he had people to support him, even though he killed murder people, and all these other people have murdered black people. And
Rittenhouse didn't murder black people. There was
he didn't murder black people, but they was murdered because of the black cause of the black riots and stuff like that. But that was just one particular. But however, they support their own kind, no matter if they in the right or the wrong. And I just feel like, especially as black men, no one here is to support us. Okay, I never even seen this man, Derek Brooks, a day in my life. But I've been having.
What's that?
Like that. Another thing he said. He was like, "Well, other people support, and whether they're right or wrong." And I'm like, "Well, what's the end consequence of supporting somebody that's wrong just because they're the same race? Now you look racist. Now you look ignorant."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to do that because white people did that. White people do that. Now you want to do it.
Exactly. And this is what the goofies look like who do this type of stuff, man. Like, will just support these types of things just outright, just because they're black. And if you're someone like me, or if you're someone like, they won't go out. Like, I don't know. It's just like, anyways, I'm gonna press continue because it gets funnier.
Yeah.
This back since then, and I believe that Derek Brooks, a day in my life, but I've been having this back since then.
I haven't known Daryl Brooks a day in my life, but I've been having his back since then.
And I just feel like, especially as black men, no one here is to support us. Okay. I never even seen this man, Derek Brooks, a day in my life, but I've been having this back since then. And I just feel like, especially as black men, no one here is to support us. Okay. I never even seen this man, Derek Brooks, a day in my life, but I've been having this back since then. And I believe that black men, especially if you support black men, why not? Sometimes you got to support us in the right or in the wrong, just like everybody else do. If you support black men, why not? Sometimes you got to support us in the right or in the wrong, just like everybody else do. I understand what he did was wrong. I'm not supporting his act. What he did was fucked up. What he did, I'm not taking that away. What he did was completely fucked up. However, I would have never came here if the shoes was on the other foot. Whereas like when somebody killed black people, they don't come and support them. So what made me come in and say fuck it? So A lot of these people in court look at me like, you here to defend Derek Brooks? Okay. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. They're like, why you defending a murderer? He did all this to all these other people, which is wrong. But my thing is, when we say Black Lives Matter, then y'all throw in our face that white lives matter and all this other stuff. When y'all go support your own kind when they killing us and get away with it and walk. He not gonna walk, he going to jail. But when y'all killing us,
bruh.
Oh man.
Bruh.
The futility of it all. And he's like trying to defend it. Like, yeah, I'm putting all my energy into this futile effort, but you know, it's something good's gonna come out of it, I promise.
Yeah,
Sit the fuck down.
he spent a day out there going to go support this court case, man.
Ridiculous. Just because he's black. I don't think it's fair that white people can be wrong and do, you know, crazy shit to get away with it. I should be able to do that with my people. You know what I'm saying? Even though I can't get this guy off, there's nothing I can do to make him get away with it. But, you know, people gonna know that it's wrong. Like, sit down somewhere, bro.
Right.
He's going to prison. You wasted your time. You look like a dumbass. But it is what it is. But I gotta cut it short, man.
Hey, no, not cut short at all, man. This has been fun, man. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you want to plug in before we close up?
Yeah, you know, just check me out on everything Blakk Mambo. It's BLAKKMAMBO on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. I've got music up. I've got some fitness stuff coming out pretty soon. I'm gonna be documenting my dealing with lupus pretty soon. So we're gonna, yeah. But yeah, just keep an eye out for all the stuff.
Okay.
Blakk Mambo and everything.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm gonna take us out, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And we got to do this again soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take us out. With that said, I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
Anchovy!